Hello! Welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. Hopefully, this week is going to be really good. Actually, so far I'm doing really well because I am planning on reading two short books back to back. And the first one that I'm reading is the second book in the Wayward Children series. Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. Yeah, Wayward Children series, and this is Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shannon Maguire. I actually read the first part and some of part two in audiobook, so that really helped me, actually make some progress. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, the writing is really good. I mean, that's like expected. If you guys didn't know, Wayward Children series is about children who get lost, and pretty much they go to these different worlds. Like they go through doors and they go to just different worlds, and the experience, the experience that is not very fun for the most part. They're introduced to like very brutal, very gory sometimes, and very rigid and just threatening, and just in very unsafe environments. And when they come back to like this world, the real world, they're very much changed. And for some of them, they spend months and years in that world that they go to, and there are different worlds, and for a lot of people it's not going to be the same thing. There might be like similarities, but it's never really going to be the same world for some of them, because there are a lot of different worlds that children get lost. So that's like the whole premise of this series. And in the first series, we're following a girl who came back from this kind of like undead world, and we're just hearing her story as she comes back to the real world. And they go to this, like, I don't want to say it's like a safe haven for these kids, and it's disguised as um like a rehab of some sort for kids who are changed pretty much, or parents are having a hard time with their behaviors, all that. But anyway, it's pretty much a home for those kids who are trying to reacclimate in our world after being gone, and experiencing a lot of different not so fun stuff in other worlds. So in this book, we're following two characters that are introduced to the first in the first book, and they are pretty much um, also one of the main characters in that book. And their names are Jack and Jill. They're twins, and this is their story, the world that they went into. And I'm 130 pages in, and I have like 50 pages left, so definitely will finish this tomorrow if I do decide to read, or if I do have time to read tomorrow. I'll definitely be finishing this. I have Beneath the Sugar Sky here, so I'll probably finish that. So my goal this week is to finish at least 3 books. This book, Beneath the Sugar Sky, and Little White Lies, maybe, or The Winner's Kiss. One of the books that I need to like return because people have them on hold. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really liking this so far. The world is very interesting. I mean, we already know the kind of world that they went into a little bit after the first book, but it's really refreshing to see like how they really experience the world, like just the whole story in itself. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I have 50 pages left. I can't believe it. Because I feel like we're just starting, and I don't want it to end. So yet, but at least I have the next book. I think that's the last book. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check Goodreads. But anyway, that is it for today. A really good reading day for me. The audiobook really helped a lot, and with it being very short too. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow with an update, or if not, on Tuesday. Or yeah. Yeah. See you guys. Hi. So today's Monday. I was expecting to update today, but I finished Down Among the Sticks and Bones. Again, literally just finished it, and then I opened my camera to record. And I also really enjoyed it. It's short, and we're following Jack and Jill here, two of the characters that we met in Every Heart Doorway, and we follow them into the world that they went into. The fascinating thing about this, I mentioned in the first update that the time moves differently in some of the worlds, and but in this world, they spent 5 years in there, and they also, I think they were also gone for 5 years because their bodies changed too. So, wow, it's also really good. And I also just found out that Shannon McGuire actually lives in Seattle, which is great. When we're in the like Pacific Northwest, that's Washington. That's where I live. Yeah, she lives in Seattle. Anyway, side note. Side note. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book too. Unsurprisingly, it's really short, but it feels like a really full short story. Like it doesn't feel rushed or forced to be a short story, or other way around. Like it's not just a simple summary type of thing forced into a short story. I don't really know how to explain it, but again I really enjoyed it a lot. So I will be starting Beneath the Sugar Sky tonight if I can, and then I'll probably finish it tomorrow as well, or maybe on Wednesday. Probably on Wednesday. So that's really good. I'm catching up. I can probably squeeze in one or two more before I read Days of Blood and Starlight, because that one I need to read this month, and I can't wait to read it. So yeah, that one, Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and everything else. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys on my next update. Hello, today is Tuesday and I'm on a roll. I just finished reading Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon McGuire. The same with Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I read almost half of this in audiobook. I just felt like I felt just a little bit too distracted, and having that audiobook while I was doing something else that is sort of mindless helped me just progress and like get me interested in the book. And I will say though that I didn't really like this book as much as I liked the first one and the second one. If I was going to rate the books according to how I enjoy them, I think I would put Down Among the Sticks and Bones first, and then the first one second, and then this one third so far. I'm still a little bit far behind the fourth book, but I might be able to borrow it in the next month or so. Anyway, I still really liked it though. I feel like that's because of just my personality, my tastes, because we're following here Rini, who says that she's the daughter of Sumi, and something happened to Sumi in the first book that is affecting Rini now. So she pretty much went back in time to look for her mother, and have Sumi help her with what's happening to Rini, to her. Have Sumi help Rini with what's happening to Rini. Yeah. I'm trying not to spoil it, but if you read the book, there are different worlds again, where children get lost into, and they have like world of logic and world of nonsense for the most part, virtue and reason, those kinds of worlds, and it's really complicated, but we go to this world where Sumi is from, which is nonsense. And that part was really like weird to me because it's nonsense. Nothing makes sense, or things don't really make sense much. So for me, as a very logical person, it was just a little too off. The first parts I need to actually reread and go through because I was a little bit distracted around that part. But that's probably like a chapter that I missed. But I really like that part as well. Like from what I remember when I wasn't distracted, I really like that part. And this is just really full of adventure. It's not like it's not like the second book where we're following the story of two girls that we already knew from the first book. We're learning about their story before, and how their past experience in this different world and that different world affected them in the first book, and why they made the choices they did in the first. Again, trying not to spoil. So that one is not as much adventure filled as the first book and this book, but I still really like that one. And again, as I said, we are going through nonsense world, and we're doing something here that's pretty impossible, so I was just not very much on board with that, but I still again really enjoyed it. I would rate this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, again, I'm on a roll. So I guess I'm gonna be reading Little White Lies, yeah, by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys when I can update on that book. Hello. It's the morning of Sunday. I was planning on updating yesterday, but I trimmed my hair and I impromptu decided to just cut my sister's hair too. And she has a lot of hair, so it took a while. I was planning on updating. I totally forgot. And it was pretty late when we were finished. I wanted to go to sleep. I needed to go to sleep. So, this is my update. So, I finished Little White Lies yesterday morning, actually, on my way to work because I only had like 20 pages left. So, I read that on the way and I finished it. And I really enjoyed this book. The ending, though, kind of disappointed me, but because we are having more books in this series, I'm not really sure how many books we're gonna have, but because we are having a second book, I'm a little more hopeful because the ending felt a lot out. Like, I feel like we didn't really get a resolution for everything that happened, and it just felt a little abrupt, like it shouldn't be ending there yet, or the ending shouldn't be like that. But seeing as there is a second book, I'm a little bit more hopeful that we will tackle all the things that happen in this book on that second book. I really enjoyed this. It's a really fast read and it's fun and light, but at the same time, we're not really talking about very light subjects. There's a lot of scandal, there's I don't know if I can say that. Hold on. There is threats, and Sawyer, the main character, is trying to find out who her dad is, and there's a lot of scandals and dangerous secrets and skeletons in closets, all that stuff. I mean, you're living pretty much in high society, so there are going to be things like that. So it was really fun to read that, and I liked Sawyer. I don't love her. I liked her as a character. Definitely, she makes mistakes and all that, but yeah, I still really, really enjoyed this one. Definitely will be reading the next book. And yeah, so I finished this one. I rated it as a 4 stars. And then I am halfway through Second Life of Ava Rivers. And this has mixed reviews on Goodreads. It has like a total review of like 3.7, 3.8, around that star rating. And I thought a lot more people would like this for some reason, but no. So I kind of like lowered my expectations going to this book, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Actually, I love the feel of the story and the storytelling. If you guys didn't know, this is about we're following Vera Rivers, who lost her twin 12 years ago, and then one day she shows up and she has like blurry memories of everybody, and she was planning on going to this school in Oregon, far away from everything that happened to her because they lived in California. And then suddenly, like a few days before she was supposed to leave, a few days before she was supposed to leave, Ava turns up in a hospital and they discover that she's alive and all that. And so they have to deal with what happened to Ava, where she was and who she is now, and how her experiences affected her, and they're trying to be a family again, but her brother is estranged from the family, and them going through losing her twin was very hard for the family. So yeah, I really enjoyed the writing style so far. It feels very atmospheric and like a little poetic. And so far I actually like Vera a lot as a character. I was afraid that she was going to be very jealous and very envious of having Ava back, but so far I haven't had that feeling, and I don't think that's a spoiler because you will definitely see that even in the first few pages. I was waiting for her to say something or to just be the jealous, envious sister who hates her sister for getting all this attention and all that, but she's not, and I really appreciate that because God, if she was, I was definitely going to be ranting about this book, and I'll be just like hate reading it. So yeah, that is it for this week. I need to get myself together. This past few weeks have been like super crazy, but we're getting into a routine now, and that's really good because I need that. Yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I think I finished 2 books this week, or 4. I finished 4 books because the two books are short novels from the Wayward Children series. So I did finish 4 books this week. I've definitely caught up with having that 2-week reading of Winter of the Witch. And so, yeah, hopefully I'll finish this today and then maybe start the last book that I need to read for this month. I know I might be able to finish because I have one more book, The Fire and Blood from George R. R. Martin, that I was planning on reading, but because Winter of the Witch took 2 weeks, I was like, no. And there are like 40 people waiting for it, so I couldn't really extend it. So, yeah, I caught up eventually with my reading. But yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. You can check some of my other videos right here, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.